is Thursday. Today is Thursday, and we are talking about something that I know plagues you. I know it does because we get asked this question a lot, and that is, how often should I promote my program or service? And yesterday, we talked about feeling icky around sales. And so if you didn't get an opportunity to go and watch that, I highly suggest that you head over to all of the places that it is. It could be on our YouTube channel, which is The Wellness Business Hub. FYI, we have a YouTube channel. Also in the video section of our Facebook group, which is Take Your Health Practice Online. So Instagram, if you want to come over and join us. The lives on Instagram go away, but it's in 2 other places. So you can watch it there, which I highly suggest that you do. So today we are going to be talking about how often you should sell your program. But before we do, we can be, I was going to say polite and kind, which morphed into one word.
Well, what's the word?
Capine?
Yes, that is the word.
We will be capined. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing, Laura?
I am doing real well this morning, I feel. I mean, I woke up with some snow on the ground, which
can we talk about the snow?
That was weird. We can. I felt like I time traveled.
Back to January.
And then I was like, oh, I can go somewhere. No. It's just like April snow.
It's quarantine April snow. Yeah.
So that was interesting. What about you? How are you this morning?
I am good. I got almost 9 hours of sleep last night, which was delightful. I don't have my children on Wednesdays. They go to their dad's. And it was about 6:30. And I was like, is it appropriate for me to go to sleep right now? And if I do, what time will I then wake up? And so I determined that waking up at 3:30 was not appropriate.
No.
So I waited until 7:30, got into bed, read, and then by 8 o'clock I was out cold.
Love it.
Which I can only do when the children are not here, because they will not also go to sleep at 8 o'clock, sadly. Otherwise, we would all be going to bed at 8 o'clock.
Don't you just hate that? Like, I wish I could rewind and my kids would go to bed at like 7 again. Those were really good days.
I remember the days when your kids went to bed at 7. Remember? And I said, enjoy them. They won't last.
I was like, no. I will keep strict on bedtime. Kids need rest.
And how's that going for you?
Last night, we all went to bed at 10.
Yeah. It's also hard. They're like, we don't have to get up and go anywhere, Mom.
Yep.
I know, true. But I still have to get up and go places, AKA Zoom. All right. So no one's responding. So I guess you're all good. And you're also getting 9 hours of sleep a night, I hope, for your sakes. But sincerely, I hope that everyone is good and feeling well on this snowy April day, because that's normal. Just like we just roll with it here.
It's fine.
Yeah. So let's talk about something of importance. Let's talk about how many times or how often should you promote your program. And before we actually give you the 2 strategies that we're going to give you, I want to talk a little bit about why you're asking that question in the first place. So do you want to give some insight into perhaps why people are asking that question in the first place?
Totally. And I think we can pull back from yesterday a little bit. Was it yesterday? Was it the day? I don't even know what day it was. When we were talking about the difference between marketing and sales and how few people really, when they start especially, are able to grasp the difference. So it feels as though if you're talking about your program, if you're talking about, working with you, that you have to be used car salesmen selling it, which means in my world, convincing people that they need to buy it / work with you. And I don't know about you guys, but unless you literally are a used car salesman and you are literally very, very good at that, which most people in this industry are not, that feels very uncomfortable. And so it feels very uncomfortable to convince people to work with you. And it's also uncomfortable to show up on these platforms and to be live and to write posts and this, that, and the other. And you get stuck between this. Should I be teaching them? Should I be giving them value? Oh God, I want them to work with me. Oh God, I don't want to have to convince them to work with me. That doesn't feel good. And so it just, I think for our clients, when they come in, it just all feels very overwhelming, right? It feels very overwhelming because they don't know the difference between marketing, and you guys likely at this point, if you're struggling with this, don't really have a firm line on the difference between marketing and showing up and selling and how they actually go hand in hand, and one leads to the other seamlessly in all that you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think the question comes from this place. So Trisha's saying that, not sure if it's just my end, but the picture is glitchy, mostly blacked out.
Huh.
Oh,
That's
no.
new.
I don't know. I only see
know.
what we see. So hop on over to Facebook if that's the case then. The question comes from, I really think, this idea that if you promote often, that you will then be looked upon as opportunistic or pushy or salesy or greedy or only caring about making money. And that probably comes from a belief that you carry. And what I would say to you, is that true? Is that true? Has anyone said to you ever, stop offering me an opportunity to get better, you're being opportunistic or you're being greedy? I'm sure people have said to you, if you really cared, you would do this for free. And those people don't understand what it is to have a business. And that's a fair comment on their part, but that doesn't mean that you're actually doing anything wrong. People are allowed to have their own opinions of what you do. And so if you are feeling salesy, if you are feeling opportunistic, if you are feeling greedy, if you are feeling pushy, then I invite you to look at the way that you are marketing. I invite you to look at the way that you show up and communicate and the value that you're giving, so that you can say, okay, if I'm feeling this way, salesy, opportunistic, greedy, pushy, whatever, likely that's because you are just straight up saying, work with me, work with me, work with me, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Here's a thing, buy it. Here's a thing, buy it. Here's a thing, buy it. And that doesn't feel good. That is not how you do it. That is not the correct way to earn trust, build rapport, nurture prime, and then invite someone into a very structured conversation with you. That's not the right way to do it. And so that is probably why you feel the way that you feel, because there is a disconnect between what you're doing and it feeling the way that you want it to feel. So let's dive into the two strategies that we have for you, so that you can offer to work with you every single time you create content, whether directly or indirectly. So what do I mean by that? Directly would be like this: hey, for those of you who want to get unstuck, who have an idea that you want to turn into a profitable online business, or if you already have a business that's, making some money and you want to grow it, the best way that we can help you is to go and book a call. And you can do that at thewbh.com/breakthrough. That's a direct call to action.
Yes, it is.
Right? An indirect call to action would be talking about, well, okay, that's part of one of the strategies. So maybe we'll go through the strategies. But the point is that every single time you create content, you want to be either indirectly or directly promoting what you do. You want to be setting yourself up as the leader and as the authority from the start, and talking about the way that you can help people while you're being of service, always, every single time. So do you want to run through the first strategy?
Totally do. So the first strategy is, it's not complicated. It's pretty straightforward. You have to have more content. You have to get over the feeling that if you send more than one email a week, you're bugging people. And if you post on Facebook more than, 3 times a week, you're annoying and you're in their face and all of those things, right? You have to show up and have content probably 3 times more than you think you should, right? Because a couple of reasons. Number one, not everybody sees everything you're doing. In fact, most people see very little of what you're doing, both because of the algorithm of social media. So what you post, a lot of people just don't see. So you have to post more, you have to engage more if you want more people to see what you're putting out there. And when it comes to email, it's the same thing. Like a good email open rate is, say, 20%. Think about that, right? If you have an email list of like 100 people, 20% is 20 people opening at any given time. So if you look at the numbers, if you want to get more people interested, and if you want to help more people, and if you want to reach more people, you just have to reach out more to all the people, because it's going to be a different subset of those 20% that open every time.
Yeah.
So you have to get more content out there. You have to sit and think and create content themes and decide what you want to talk about. We did that last week, the week before. I don't know. It all blends together, but we did that. We like hardcore did that in here. And you have to put it out there and just get over the fear of being too much or annoying or any of those things.
Yeah. We have a client in the 10K success system who, during a coaching call this week, she was like, I feel like my numbers are good and I feel like things are going really well. She is hitting her goals. She's like, but I feel like I could leverage this. And she was getting, I think, approximately 200 new people onto her list and into her Facebook group. She was booking, I think 10 calls and making, I don't know, 3 or 4 sales like a month, whatever it was. Right. And she was like, my conversion rate is really good. I was like, yes, it is. How do I leverage this? And I said, more calls to action. If you're bringing in 200 people into your community every single month, your call rate and like the ratio between the new leads coming in and the calls booked is low. So if you could get 15 calls booked a month or 20 calls booked a month, the conversion rate, that means you go from making 3 to 4 sales to 6 to 8. And now you've just doubled your business with the same amount of leads coming in, because it's huge, right? It's huge. You've just doubled your ROI on ad spend. And so, which is amazing. And so the question was, how many times are you emailing? How many times are you showing up and doing Facebook Lives with specific content that promotes the opportunity to work with you? And you're not just getting on a Facebook Live and being like, okay, today we're going to go through 3 strategies to help you not emotionally eat when your kids are annoying, right? Like, and you're doing it in a very constructive way. And so that strategy of more, it's not necessarily, I shouldn't say more content. It's twofold. It's frequency for sure. For those of you that are only emailing never, once a week or even twice a week, email more and show up more in your group, show up more with Facebook Lives. But it's not just showing up more, obviously, because you can show up more and still not do it well, right? It's understanding, as we went through the last 2 weeks, it's attention, positioning, messaging, and having those calls to action weaved through, right? So if this is something that you struggle with and you would like our help, go ahead and book a call. Go to thewbh.com/breakthrough, book the call. If this is something you're like, you know what, I've been posting, I've been showing up, and nothing is happening, now is the time to invest. Now is the time to say, you know what, I'm tired of spinning my wheels and of trying to get this done on my own. I'm super stuck. This is what we do. We are here to help you, right? And clearly, we have the ability to do that. And so, the best way that we can help you, direct call to action, is by you booking a call with us at thewbh.com/breakthrough. So that's the first strategy, right? Which is, if you are sporadically showing up, if you want to have more engagement, if you want to have more calls booked, you need to ask for it more, right? You need to ask for it more. It seems so simple, but are you doing it? Count how many times in 1 week you actually have a direct call to action, and then count how many times you have an indirect call to action, right? And so this is strategy number 2. Do you want to go through what strategy number 2 is?
Yeah. Strategy number 2 is to, for lack of a better word, stop being so afraid to talk about the people that you work with and the results that you get and the program that you have. You have to seed your program in everything that you do. That is what is going to position you as the expert, right? That talking about your program, talking about your clients, instead of just straight up teaching things, is what makes the difference and makes the connection from just information to, a combination of social proof and storytelling, right? So you can't, and we can give examples for sure, and you're seeing us do it here, but what you can't do is assume that the people in your audience know how to work with you and what you offer. They might not even know that you work with clients / have a program, right? Because you're not talking about it. And it's straightforward. You're seeing us do it in almost every story we tell. We go back and say, okay, one of our clients, came in and we were having this conversation, and her results were XYZW, and this is what we're going to do to move forward. Right? We're seeding the fact that we work with clients, that we get results with clients, that we have this killer program that we know works every time we talk about the things that we teach in it. Right?
Yeah. And so what you can do tangibly is, when you're doing your lives, when you're doing your program, you can have a checklist for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Am I indirectly giving a call to action? Am I seeding the program? Have I introduced myself as the founder of the 10K success system, or whatever it is that you do? Have I included an example of a client objection, challenge, win? Have I referenced a client in any way? Have I talked about what I do with my clients? Have I talked about, oh, this is a big mistake that I see, or this is something that I get my clients to do? Are you seeding the fact that you are currently working with clients, right? Are you talking about the fact that there is an opportunity to work with you? Are you talking about the fact that you have opened your schedule and you are now enrolling new clients or accepting new clients? Have you explained what the best next step would be in order to assess whether they are a good fit to work with you or not? Because you don't work with everybody, right? You can have a checklist of these things, and you can say, okay, if I'm going to do a Facebook Live about 3 ways to not emotionally overeat because your spouse and children are driving you up the wall, right? Which is good content. You can give strategies, like you actually give them strategies, but you seed in, this is strategies coming directly from my program, the blah, 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 right? You talk about it over and over again. This is one of the strategies that my clients that I work with love the most because it gets them the best results.
Yes.
And so if this is something that you struggle with, the best way for me to be able to help you is to get on a call with you so that I can assess whether it's a right fit for you. So you can head on over to blah, 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 and we can chat, or hit reply and let me know, or send me a PM, or put your name in the comments below and I'll reach out. You can do those things over and over and over again, right? And that is the best way for you to sell all the time. It's by interspersing direct and indirect opportunities to work with you in between your really good content. So Sharon's actually asking a question. How do I know how successful you are? Data. Are you asking about my company personally or our program? Because we can give you data on both. The first thing that you're going to want to do, Sharon, is you can search the group. So search the Take Your Health Practice online Facebook group, go into the search and write the words 10K success system. And you will find many, many posts. Also, I can have one of our specialists reach out to you. But the first way for you to see how successful we are with our practitioners and coaches is to just do a quick search in the Facebook group, and you will see many, many threads on from our clients and what we do and our success rate, which is very high. So you can do that, or we can just have you schedule a call and you can chat with an advisor and they can go through everything with you. So those are the two strategies. And I would love for you to really do this. Like, my fear in doing these lives every day, quite honestly, is that you're just going to watch and not do the things. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what we're telling you to do is what we tell our clients to do. And so if you just, I have a song, I won't sing it.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. And maybe one day I will sing it, but I made up a song that basically goes, if you just do what we say, you will be successful, because what we say works. And we know that it works because we have proof of working with hundreds and hundreds of practitioners who were like, you know what, I'm going to do it my way for a bit. And then that doesn't work. And they literally come back, and I'm not even kidding. And this is how I made up the song, was like, if you could just do what we say the first time, that would be awesome. Thanks. Right. So yeah, it's the hardest part is doing it.
Totally.
But absolutely, 100%. And this is where you just have to make a decision. I'm not going to use that phrase again, but we need to find a better phrase for that phrase. Totally. Because it's just not appropriate for such early in the morning conversations. But this is where you have to make the decision to say, I'm going to fail forward. I am going to mess up as many times as I need to until I get it right, because it's the only way. You don't get it perfect off the bat. No one does. 0 people get it perfect off the bat. You know who gets it perfect? People who do it over and over and over again. And so if this is something that you're struggling with, know that it's going to be really not great. Like, it's not going to be awesome, right? It's not going to be awesome. And that's perfect. Like, that's perfect, because doing something is always better than doing nothing. And improvement is the only way to win.
Yep.
Right. And that's how we've all gotten to where we are. Right. Oh, yay, Sharon. I have already changed the way I think and promote. It's all good and beneficial. Thank you. That. Thank you. Yes. You know, and the reality is, and there's something called the Pareto Principle, which you will, Sheila's like, it might not be awesome, but it definitely won't get better if you don't start. That is truth. There's something called the Pareto Principle, and you will see this in your own community as well with your clients. And it dictates something to the effect like, you know, 20% of the people will get 100% of the results. And so if 10 people watch this and 2 people take action, then A+ to us, right? Yep. And that's actually how it's going to be. We know that not all 20,000 people plus in this Facebook group are ever going to take action. We know that. We know that a majority are just going to be educational consumers and then do nothing. And that's cool. That's cool. Yep. Right? Yep. And so we're talking to those of you that watch and implement. As ugly and as bad as it is, that's who we're doing this for, right? Those of you that watch and implement and then come back and be like, more, implement, improve, more, please. We're doing this for you. And so take the 2 strategies that we talked about today and just work with them. And then let us know what happens, right? Let us know if you end up getting more opportunities to have conversations with people, and if it leads to more engagement, and if it leads to more interest. It might not happen right away. It might take a week or 2, because people need to see it over and over and over again.
Yes.
But it will happen if you stick with it. Don't be like, Lori, I did it that one time and it didn't work. I'm going to be like, go back and do it 30 more times. Right? It's like when our clients are like, oh, I did my webinar. I'm like, great, now go do it again. Right? So, how many times should you be promoting your service or offering? All the times. All the times. It's just how you do it. It's not how many times. The question should be how. You indirectly do it and you directly do it. So if you need a refresher, go back and watch this. If you would like our help, the best way that we can help you, the best way that we can assess whether you are a right fit, we have a variety of offerings and services. For those of you that just have an idea, those of you that really want to grow, the best way for us to help you is to get on a free info call with our advisors. And you can go to thewbh.com/breakthrough, and they will do a little bit of an assessment. They're going to see where you're at and what you need the most help with, and then they'll give you recommendations. Anything else?
I think that's it. If you take nothing else away from this, go back to what Lori was just saying. If you are not doing, you likely feel very warm and cozy watching these and in learning mode and really enjoying consuming the content. And if you're feeling those feelings, please take that as a red flag warning sign. You should likely feel like you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit every time that you come on here and watch, because now you have to go do something that's going to make you uncomfortable. If you don't have that feeling, it's probably not a good sign for what is going to happen next.
Yep. That's the best advice ever. You should feel like you want to throw up in your mouth every day.
You should dread coming here to listen to us, because you're like, oh God, I gotta go do something else that's going to make me uncomfortable.
Totally. And then just go and do it.
Yes.
And not worry about what it looks like or what it sounds like, or just, you need the practice. You need just the practice. Yeah. It's a puke meter. Oh my God.
Yes.
Miranda. Yes. It's the puke meter on a scale of 1 to 10. True. How much do you want to throw up right now?
That's what we'll start saying.
Yeah.
Instead of how are you?
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, where's your puke meter at? Oh my God. That's hilarious. We're going to end on that note. You all have yourself a fine day. Please let us know the actions that you're taking and how it's working for you. We really want to know. This is more fun if it's interactive.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.